Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. If you look at what is currently happening in Kenya, and then you sit down and do a recollection of what happened before the August 2022 presidential election, you can see clearly that signs were written all over. There were warning signs. Signs of what was to happen in the event a section of the political class came to power. And from what we are now seeing, I strongly believe that the prophecies, the signs and the signals, the warnings are actually coming to pass. In this video, I want us to listen to one such warning, a warning that Kenyans took very lightly. Listen to this before we continue.
We want to come into agreement with the Kenya Kwanza women that every handwriting has been erased.
Yes, that was before the August 2022 presidential election. And that woman preacher was a Kenya Kwanza leaning preacher. And I won't be wrong to conclude that she might have been part of the men and women of God who had already been compromised and pocketed by William Ruto as Kenyans were heading towards August 2022 presidential election. And it's a fact that a good number of them, if not a majority, were saying things that would only please William Samoei Ruto. They were not brave enough to say the truth as it was or as it should be, And from that prayer, the woman is really struggling very hard. Yes, to say good things about Kenya Kwanza. In fact, she's making it very clear. Kenya Kwisha. I'm taking that as a prophecy that is being fulfilled. Even though the woman preacher is trying to talk the right language that will please the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, it's a fact that what she said, Kenya Kwisha, is actually coming to pass in a William Ruto's government. From what we are seeing in government, it's almost very certain and very clear. Kenya is Kwisha. Kenya is headed for the dogs. We are seeing a leadership that is even sponsoring goons to destroy property, to vandalize property, sponsoring goons actually to kill, to burn churches, to burn a mosque, to kill innocent Kenyans. That's the kind of a government we are dealing with. And when I say, or rather talk about all those, I'm referring to Uhuru Kenyatta's Northlands farm. It's a fact. That attack was most definitely a government-sponsored attack. A government sponsoring goons to destroy property. If you look at what happened in Kibra during the demonstrations, a church and a mosque, those worship centers were burnt down. Innocent Kenyans were attacked. Journalists were attacked. All these events are believed as having been government sponsored. Anarchy is setting in. And just yesterday, we are getting some rumors that civil servants have not been paid till right now when I'm talking. County governments, a good number of county governments have not paid their employees since January. Since January, they have not been paid. Those who have paid their employees, they have done that through bank overdrafts. The government has not yet released money. Civil servants have not been paid. IBC staffs have not been paid. So you are seeing clearly that this is a government that in less than 7 months is not able to pay its employees. At the same time, we are seeing corrupt individuals. Some were even accused of murder. Corruption running in the tunes of billions, their corruption cases being dropped for them to serve in government. Government is being expanded. 50 chief administrative secretaries, posts that are clearly not needed. We are seeing the top leadership saying this is a company. It's almost certain and very clear individuals at the top are not fit holding a public office. And I won't mince my words here. From what we are seeing, William Ruto and his team, they are not fit holding public offices. They don't pass the test of chapter 6 of our constitution, leadership and integrity. They badly fail that test. They are not fit holding a public office. Look at the judiciary. Look at the director of public prosecution. Look at the anti-corruption. All these are actually compromised. When Kenyans go to the street to demonstrate and to protest, goons are being sponsored on them. Goons who are being protected by the government. Any Kenyan going to the street to demonstrate, you are being told you will be killed. Any Kenyan speaking truth through power, you are being seen as an enemy. It's certain and clear, Kenya Kwisha. So that prayer by that woman preacher, even though she was trying to speak some word prayer to please Kenya Kwanza, her prayer is actually coming to pass. Kenya Kwisha. As I conclude, from what we are witnessing, there is now this topic of dialogue. And just as I did say in our yesterday's analysis, Ruto is not serious for dialogue. Ruto has an ambition of defending, or rather he has got this ambition of a re-election come 2027. So I'm not just seeing any chance of William Ruto and the Azimio sealing a deal anytime soon. William Ruto is not interested in fair processes. He is not interested in a free IEBC. He wants an IEBC he can control. So by Azimio trying to make IEBC credible, I'm seeing William Ruto most definitely not going to yield to that. Pressure has to be piled on William Ruto to yield to that. But I'm seeing it's going to be a little bit hard for William Ruto to agree to an independent or a transparent IEBC. And the reasons are so many. One of the main reasons being William Ruto has already seen this becoming very unpopular on the ground. And looking at 2027, without the assistance of IEBC, William Ruto knows it will be very hard for him to win any election in Kenya. So he wants processes. He will most definitely compromise in the event he will be lucky to reach 2027. So he'll try very hard for these arms to be compromised. But from what we are seeing happening in Kenya, all those maneuvers and schemes by William Ruto, most definitely they will fail. Because from the look of things, even that 2027 itself, it will be a miracle for William Ruto to reach that 2027 as a president. Kenyans are growing impatient each passing day with this government. And I won't be wrong to say that we might see another Sri Lanka happening in Kenya. The moment even civil servants are not being paid, then that's just a confirmation of a looming trouble. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.